Symbols of Freemasonry. So over here, there is a square and right here and the compass. So that's a symbol of Freemasonry. There's the sun and the moon, and there's the eye, and the eye is in the top of a pyramid right here. And that pyramid has ridging all along here, and a base and a stem that comes down right here. So right here in the symbols of Freemasonry, we see the mushroom. And I should probably also mention here that, I'm not saying that, that these guys are good guys or bad guys. There's good guys and bad guys in this organization. So it's just good to be aware of this kind of knowledge. I think the whole world is waking up to this, and it's about time that they actually learned it from the proper perspective instead of a Christian or a religious perspective. The secret societies have the reason they've been secret is because they've maintained and kept the knowledge of the mushroom throughout history, and they've kept that in diametric opposition to the Catholic Church. And I can't say absolutely that there was never any collaboration between the two going all the way back to the royal houses in Europe. There probably was. But at some point there was some discord, and the secret societies went underground and they kept that knowledge, and the church did pursue them and prosecute them and go after them during different time periods. Rick Strassman brings out in his book, DMT, the spirit molecule, he talks about how the funding for the DMT research that occurred, that he ended up with, came from a grant from the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. So it's no secret either that Freemasons have their hands a little bit in some of the psychedelic research, and I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing. It is what it is. This is from the Romance of Alexander from 1338 to 1344 AD. And these are a bunch of animals depicted as mushrooms. And I think there's a rabbit right here. This looks like it could be a mole or something. This is a goat, and this looks like it could be, it's like a devil figure, but I guess that's a bull. And this is a bird figure, like a eagle. So they're all depicted as mushrooms. The shape of the body is very mushroom shaped. The caps, they're all gold caps, but the shape of the body also is very, very indicative of the mushroom right there. So these are definite mushroom characters. This one right here has the ridging all along the edge of the cap right here as well. Again, we see the same kind of imagery in the clothing. This person is wearing something that gets cut off right here, and that's the ridging and top of the mushroom. That's the cap, and there's the stem. And here we see it again. This is another medieval manuscript. These are from churches, and this is mushroom symbolism, and you would never notice this if you weren't looking for it. You just glance right over it. There's the cap of the mushroom, there's the stem, there's the cap. Right here, there's the cap of the mushroom. The body is the stem, getting cut off right there at the waist. There's your ridging right there along the bottom of the cap. I like this one a lot because it's very obvious. The more obvious sometimes, those are just real good clues and giveaways. This character right here looks like he has like a unicorn horn coming off of his head, and maybe something in his hand that looks like a crescent. But what he's wearing right here, this is the cap of the mushroom right there, and then it goes down here, and his hand cuts off the base right here and makes the bottom of the mushroom. So there's your mushroom symbolism. Right here it's even more obvious because this person's grabbing the base of the mushroom, and you can see the difference in color between the cap in green right here and the base in red right here. This is a Czech manuscript. It's from the Jena Codex from 1500 AD, and somebody is feeding this person into the mouth of the devil. I'm not sure if there's another devil figure head right here. This looks like it could be a pope or something, or a Christian figure, but he's being fed into the mouth of the devil in this image, and this image represents the mushroom. The body of this character right here is the base and stem of the mushroom. The red part over here is the cap of the mushroom, and the teeth right here all along inside make up the gills of the mushroom. Once in a while we get lucky and we find an image that really does kind of hit home and prove some of these points that I've been pointing out, as far as the devil being the mushroom, being another symbol for the mushroom, just like God or goddess was in the ancient world. This is an Islamic manuscript, and it shows, it's probably from 18th century India, but it's a little bit older, ultimately from 1460 to 1489. And this is the close-up right here, but what you're looking at is you're looking at a group of figures right here, of animal type deities and devils. And this is definitely a devil character right here. This is another devil character, and he has a necklace that he's wearing, and that necklace is a mushroom. Also, he is all red and he has white dots. So the fact that the devil character here is all red with white dots and has a mushroom necklace, should be pretty good evidence of what this symbolism implies. An image of the devil as the charmer, the musician. Here he is seducing people with his rock and roll and drugs. Here he's got his tambourine, it looks like he might be playing, and he's playing a flute possibly. And the tambourine right here, the stick that he's using to beat it, becomes the stem of the mushroom, and the drum becomes the cap of the mushroom. He himself is a mushroom, his body is the stem, and his wings here are the cap of the mushroom. This is from Philosophia Reformata, and it's 1622. And again, we see the hermaphrodite right here, with a bird in one hand and the serpent in the other hand in the cup. They are standing on a crescent right here, bullhorn crescent, and we see the tree of life right here. So this is all symbolism once again for the mushroom, and when you understand what you're looking at, images like this become a lot more clear and easy to understand. Here's another scene from Aurora Consurgence, and this one shows two holy worshippers sucking from the breast of this mother goddess, and in this case this mother goddess would be a mushroom, and the milk that they're sucking from her breast is most likely the rain, the water that pours down from the heavenly breasts of the cow of heaven. Right here we can see that her face is a different color than the rest of her body, and her face is red and her body's blue. So then again we have mushroom symbolism with the amanita and the psilocybin. And she's wearing a crown, a symbol of royal authority and mushroom authority, and her head is shaped like a mushroom. So that's got some kind of obvious symbolism. Here's a comparison pic, and we see the earrings on the deity here in India. Okay, that's from the 13th century in India, and at the same time, 6th to 13th century in the Mayan civilization, here's another earring on this person's ear. So these are, all the way across the world from each other, and you see the same exact symbolism, and it's all mushroom symbolism. Here are a few more from South America, some warriors, which are really shaman, and you can see in each case they have, their mushroom symbolism. Here's his mushroom head, he's got his mushroom scepter and his mushroom cap shield. And he's got his mushroom scepter and his mushroom cap shield, and so does this guy right here, and he's got his mushroom head right here. So these are all just, mushroom deities. This was the way they portrayed them in South America. Here we have a little bit more of the Egyptian mushroom headdress similarity in the Valdivia, Ecuador figurines. Some of these are very old, from 2500 to 1500 BC. Here's a twin, a pair of a couple mushrooms growing up together, and you can see the headdresses has the ridges right there on their heads. They're little mushroom caps. She's a little mushroom cap. So these are more mushroom goddesses. This is another little mushroom goddess right here, and she looks kind of like a Jawa from Star Wars. So she's just a little, that's definitely her mushroom headdress cap right there. Just like we saw in Greece, the pottery of Mexico also represents the mushroom symbolism and shape. This right here is a mushroom cap, and there's your ridging all along there. And right here, this is a vase, and if you turn it upside down, you would have the mushroom shape right here. Those are from Colima, Mexico, from 250 BC to 200 AD. Down here, this is from Machu Picchu archaeological site from 300 BC to 100 AD, and you can see with the dots all along right here, there you have your mushroom shape and symbolism, and you have it, also accentuated by the shape of this bowl right here. You know, you'd have to turn these upside down for them to look like the bowls, but you turn them this way and they look like the mushrooms. These stone statues over here are called menhirs. One is in Filitosa, a megalithic site in southern Corsica, France. And you can see a couple of these just on the side of a hill. There's a whole bunch of them, but in the middle of the forehead, the defining part of the brow and the nose is the mushroom shape. It's the same thing right here. And we can see the similar imagery on the Moai statues from Easter Island from 1000 to 1500 AD. So there's your mushroom symbolism, there's your mushroom symbolism right there. And they say that these are phallic stones, these menhirs. So, you know, all the time they're trying to tell us that we're looking at phallic imagery in order to divert our attention from the fact that we're actually looking at mushroom imagery. These appear to be a couple of shaman figurines. One is from Jalisco, Mexico from 300 BC to 250 AD. One is from Nayarit culture from 100 BC to 250 AD. This one right here looks like he has a wizard's hat or wizard's cap, witch's cap. There's an amanita buttons on his headdress right there and on his ears. He looks like his whole body is an amanita mushroom with the just colors just reversed. And he has a ridging cap right here with the white or the red, you know, going all the way around there. So there's a couple more mushroom deity figurines. Now these are really good examples. They're from the Tairona culture from 200 to 1600 AD. And these are reptilian deities, but we can see them associated with the mushroom. And that's not so common to actually see the two of them together very clearly. So these are great examples. Here's a mushroom cap right here on this reptile. And he's a reptile deity. There's a little mushroom character down below right here on the bottom with a face and white dots on a red cap right here. Over here, same thing, mushroom shaped headdress right here. And this is a reptilian deity. In this case, it looks like a woman, and she has a mushroom cap right here. There's a mushroom cap right here. There's the lines coming down, the ridging, and there's the base. So she just has like her two legs put together right here as one leg, and that's the base of the mushroom, and there's your cap. And she's a reptilian deity, you know, mushroom symbolism. Overlord here is a reptilian god deity. He's holding mushrooms in his hands, as you can see right here. He has mushroom caps on his legs right here that look like he's wearing something like a spacesuit, and he also has them on his arms. He has a ridging and a whole halo around his head right here, and on the back of his head, as you can see here, there's little scabs or buttons like a mushroom cap right here. So he's a reptilian mushroom deity, and there's a priest right here. The priest, these are the eyes right here on the inside. These are actually earrings right here on his ears. So it looks like these might be the eyes, but the eyes are actually right here. The priest is obviously going to be the one who's administering the sacrament. These were together at some point, and the priest would be, you know, the representative of the deity right here that you would be seeing, you know, bringing the mushroom. So this was a very interesting figurine set right here, and he's actually kind of tall, you know, a little over a foot tall. And I was pretty surprised when I first found this. This is one of the items that started me on my whole project in the beginning of 2016, when I realized that this was actually real and that there were things like that out there, and I started looking much deeper into it.